Real quick, I know that I hear this quite often about people not really knowing if God really changes people. And I know I hear that asked a lot, like, does God really move in people? Does he really change people and everything? And I've had that asked only a couple times to me, but I overhear it a lot. And the answer to that is yes. He truly does change you from the inside out. I say this because I experienced this myself. Did I believe it at first? I'm not gonna say I didn't, but at that time I wasn't deep in my word and deep in my relationship with Christ at that time. Um, I might not go fully into detail today, but just to give like a quick synopsis of like how he can move and how he could work in your life. I was I've I've always been for the Bible, but it's always been like church and religion. I'm still not religion is still a no for me. No, religion is still no. Like all this Baptist, Methodist, this, that, and the third. No. Still ultimately is Jesus Christ. However, I've always been in and out of the Bible. But one thing I noticed is like I know me and my husband we got baptized in 2016. I was in deep in my word, and then after that I kind of fell off, and then when I started grieving was when I started realizing like that was when I did a complete one like 360 from God. And so I remember just being around people doing things I had no business doing, just going just completely left of what Megan normally would do. So I remember getting to my absolute lowest. And in the midst of me getting to my lowest, like I was like when I say I was at my lowest, I was at my lowest. And that was in December of 2021. I remember just or in the November, early December, because I remember that December I started reading a proverb a day. I cried out to God. I was like, if this is like, I was just at my worst. I was like, God, just, I know I haven't been praying to you. I know I haven't been worshiping you because I had got real heavy in the new age, like crystals and all that stuff. So keep in mind, I was like, God, please just, this can't be life. Like my soul feels like dead. So praying and praying, and I remember that December I started reading a proverb a day, and that January I had bought me NKJV interleaved Bible that I was in love with. Now I got like plenty. I got a lot of Bibles, y'all, but I love journaling Bibles. Highly recommend them. Um, so I ended up getting one in my favorite translation, which is the ESV, and I remember at the time thinking like, oh, okay, I think I can still do New Age and read the Bible. But this time I wanted to pray on it. So I prayed on it. And then slowly, it started being revealed to me like, you can't do both, serving them two masters. So it's like, okay, I can't do both. I started realizing like there's no room for that. And that talks about that in Galatians as well in chapter 5 about not doing sorcery, witchcraft, all that other this, that, and the third. So I eventually I gave that up like real quick. Had pulled the trash can up to the window and I tossed all that stuff out the window directly in the trash. There were some people who was like, why you just didn't give them away? I'm not fixing to entice somebody else to sin. I'm not fixing to pass that spirit to somebody else when it's being broken out of me. I wasn't fixing to do that. I'm not fixing to give you tarot cards when it's not something I believe in. Yeah, did I waste a lot of money? Because I did have a lot of that stuff, crystals and all that. Yes, I did waste a lot of money, but that don't mean nothing when it's your soul involved. Like that's nothing. as nothing. I done spent probably more than that on Bibles now. But yeah, like it's I was a person, so I started my walk and back into Christ. And then I remember feeling like something was missing. It kept feeling like something was missing, like something is just missing. So, not having a church home, I was like, it gotta be church. So, I prayed about it. Me and my husband started church hopping and everything. And it just turned into a thing of us just like seeing what fit where we could grow potentially spiritually and everything. And it just seemed like some of these churches, I probably have to do another video on that, because some of these churches, I don't think they realize it, and as well as some of the churches that aren't as diverse, I don't know if they realize it or not, but sometimes they can be very like uncomfortable and kind of like judgmental kind of per se. It's almost like you can't really be fully who you are. So started feeling like something was missing, kept praying and praying and praying. I knew it was church. I just didn't. I was like, how do I go about it when I have had this negative view and take on church? Or I'm gonna say, well, yeah. I kind of, cause I kind of was at the point where I was like, you don't need church. You can be the church as long as you're reading your Bible, this, that, and the third, and yada yada yada. Yeah, that's true, but you do need church. So kept praying on it, and everything. Keep in mind, God changes things, and your desires will slowly start to change. And all you got to do is just pray for it, pray on it, and just keep on staying in your word, and just keep on just keep praying to him, keep seeking him. You're not perfect. Get that out your head. You're not perfect. So I remember I was just kind of like, oh, like I know we need a church home. So I ended up, I started looking up churches that were close to us, around us. A few of them I was like, no. Ran across our church, and I started looking at sermons and everything, and I was like, man, I really like this atmosphere. This is like kind of like a vibe that, like this is what we're like. I would really want to visit the church, basically. So we visited December of last year, of 2023. And man, when I say there has only been a handful of times that we have had to miss, it's only been a handful of times. I love my church. I've been able to be transparent. I've been able to truly start seeing God and Christ, and start actually truly healing with God, instead of doing like with the new age where you take everything into your own hands and everything. Like when it's been amazing. And that's the thing. When people say that they're turning their life to Christ, don't sit and label them as, oh, they're acting funny, oh, they're being different, oh, they're being this, they're being that, or whatever. No, they're not acting funny. That's how God, honestly, that's how God moves it. That's how God works it out, because he changes your desires, he changes your wants, your needs, and he makes you want what he wants. So when I say my whole desire changed, now I understand church. Now I go to church. Now we have met some really great people at church. Like it's just been absolutely amazing. And I kept praying and praying and praying. I went from someone who didn't feel like you needed church. Well, first I went from someone who was new age. I haven't ever been heavy in church. I know we got baptized, and at that time we was going to church for a while, and then we stopped. But when I tell you my desires have changed, God truly has changed my desires. He will work you inside out. That's the real change that people completely miss when they go on these healing journeys. And that's the reason why I would definitely say include God on your healing journey. Like, if you've tried everything, give Jesus a try. Like, I guarantee you won't try nothing else after you go to Jesus. Like, you won't need nothing else. Like, when I tell you, like, my desires, like, my whole, and he will renew your mind, my whole thought process towards church is nowhere near the same. I was that person that used to be like, nah, you don't need church. Nah, you don't need this. I was that person, y'all. I was that person. And here I am when somebody's like, they don't go to church. I'm like, I'm giving that look like, you need to go to church. You need a good church. Like, the people there are real. They're authentic. They transparent. Like, I haven't ever been to a church, and it was earlier this year. I remember it was in March, and we was doing a fast. We was doing a 21-day fast, and man, when I tell you, on prayer night, I was crying. I haven't ever just cried like that. Me and my husband, I cried. He cried. Like, we just started just being like 100% just that. It was just that. Like, it was just, I haven't ever experienced that. They prayed with us. They cried with us. We've been transparent. Like, it's just, the people there are just genuine. It's everything that we have needed in a church, and just in people as well. I'm starting to see, like, different people, like certain people in a different light. I'm starting to truly, at first, when you start your new age and your self-love journey, you think you're healing. You are not healing unless you got God on the journey with you. I'm just going to be honest. You are not healing if you do not have God on there with you. When I tell you, turning back to Christ has been the best thing I've ever done. It's been the best thing I've ever done. And man, I'm about to tear up now about it. But it's been the best thing I have. Like, I was in such a dark place, y'all. Like, I had lost, like, I'm not even going to say it was a loss, but I wanted the people to stay in my life. But when you pray about God removing anybody that is not of him, or that is going to keep you from him, or just remove anything that is not of him, people are going to go. Your friends are going to go. When you're going to walk down the journey with God, you have to realize, like, this, like, they can't go with you. They may be able to come back down the line again, but God has to work on them like he's working on you. There's something, like, I had to realize that, and that's a hard blow, but it's nothing compared to a relationship with him. That should be your best friend right there. And it's just, when I say that this joy is like the joy I felt, like, I have people at church that calls me like their sister in Christ. They love me. You only know a segment of my story. You don't even know. Like, that means more to me versus the people that I have allowed to actually get to know me and even see me in my darkest moment and use my darkest moments against me, or use that as a way to be like, oh, I don't want to deal with you, or whatever the case might be. Everybody has gone through something. And that was the biggest thing that I love about our church. And that just made me just fall in love with it. And just, it's like the icing on the cake for my relationship with Christ. Not saying, of course, staying in your word is, but I'm just saying, like, that missing piece has been put in. And it's like, you can't just do it without him. You can't. You can go on a healing journey all day. You are supposed to, but you're also supposed to put the work in. And that's going to be a video for another time, because we're getting ready to embark on a new year, and all the people that are all new year, new me's are fixing to pop up. You can make a change any time of the year. Don't look at January the 1st as the only time you need to change. Just putting that out there. And, like, it's just, when I say it's just been amazing, it's been amazing. Every Sunday, I'm looking forward to every Sunday. I've been a greeter at my church. It's that has really helped pull me out of some of the dark thoughts that I was still having. It's just being there, speaking to people, being there, smiling with people, crying with people, like, and then just I was greeting, I think last week, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. The women had me laughing so hard, and I just love you. Their love hits different versus the people that I've thought that loved me, but really didn't genuinely love me like that. That hits different because it's like you was in a dark place. I've been in a dark place. We love each other. I'm praying for you. I told like we see each other like we bypass each other yesterday. I was like, I had prayed about you this week, and she thank you. Like it's just amazing, God, y'all. Like if you are wanting to make a genuine, true change and turn away, include God on your journey. You cannot do it without Him. I thought I could. I cannot. I cannot. But I'm going to eventually do like a much more in-depth video that'll probably be longer than this. But I just wanted to let you know that God can change you. Do not knock somebody who's saying like anything pertaining to Jesus or anything like, oh, you changing, ain't it? You're acting funny. They're not acting funny. God can change your desires. He truly can. But I'm going to do, that would be another video for another day. I just wanted to quickly just put that out there to let you know that God truly does change people. He would change your desires. He would change your mind. He will renew your mind. He will put joy back. He would start putting joy back in you. He will bring you back to life. So seriously, if your soul is dead and you've tried everything, therapy, everything, this, that, and the third, try Jesus, try God, and try a church. So serious. I stand by that wholeheartedly. Walking testimony right here. But you guys enjoy your day, and I'll be going into detail. If you want to know more details about that, comment below. And I'll definitely do another video, like just letting you know like my journey of how it all kind of came about, or more detail about like how you can go about reading your word and everything. But you guys have a good one.